Another East Midlands MP who's been a bit of a problem for David Cameron is Patrick Mercer, the Newark MP who's resigned from the Conservative Party whip, is now an independent. He's referred himself to the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner over allegations that he established an all-party parliamentary group on Fiji after being contacted by undercover reporters posing as lobbyists. It's split opinion in his constituency. Sunday Politics reporter Rob Pittham has been to Newark to find out more.
It may look peaceful enough, but Newark's a town that's had more than its fair share of strife in the past. It was besieged several times in the English Civil War before much of the castle was destroyed. Patrick Mercer might have been expected to have adopted something of a siege mentality himself. He's told us he can't give any interviews whilst a parliamentary inquiry is underway into his conduct. But he says he's meeting all of his diary engagements and he's holding regular surgeries here in the town. And he says he's been buoyed by the support of hundreds of well-wishers. Among those supporters, Andrew Smith from the National Farmers Union.
I've been doing my role now for over 20 years, and in that time Patrick is head and shoulders above all the other MPs that we've dealt with in terms of dealing with constituency business. He's done a great job and I hope he can carry on doing so.
Not everyone agrees. Graham Gustard is a Newark-based businessman who's been appalled by the allegations against the MP.
Someone who's independent should be free from undue influence and control. So if Patrick's not significantly independent to stand as a Tory representative for Newark, then he shouldn't be standing as an independent.
It's a divide that's reflected everywhere in the town. But you think Patrick Mercer's doing a good job?
Yes, he did in this town.
If he's getting money for stuff, then he shouldn't get extra for doing other bits.
So this is splitting the family, is it?
Well, that's my opinion, isn't it?
I think he should resign, to be honest with you.
Why's that?
Because he's gone against everything really, democracy. He's fought for democracy, hasn't he? There's been 9 tours of Northern Ireland, one of Bosnia, fighting for democracy. Now he's just throwing it all in the face.
I have no objection to him staying on there.
Whilst there may be disagreement in the town about what to do over the fate of its MP, there is agreement on how to prevent things like this happening in the future. Experts have suggested preventing MPs from taking second jobs or giving them a pay rise to make sure they're not tempted in the first place. That last idea in particular gets short shrift here in Newark.
I don't think they should be, especially with the economy being the way it is, you know, lots of people being out of jobs. I think that they are paid fairly well. I just think that they should just do, just behave properly and ethically and serve the people for, you know, and do what it is that they're supposed to be doing.
I think they get enough now.
I think they've fiddled enough.
Not everyone, though, is against the idea of paying MPs more money.
What you need is people who are getting a commensurate salary with people in industry and who are specialists in their fields. What you want are people who have experience of the real life and not just Oxbridge graduates who have spent all of their life in academia studying politics and their working life in and around the Westminster Village.
It's a rare voice of support for higher pay, which may come as some relief to our MPs, as they find themselves once again under attack from an increasingly hostile electorate.
So what's gone wrong here, Andrew? Is it the individual MPs who are to blame here, or is it the system that makes the lobbyists so attractive to the MPs?
Well, Patrick has referred himself to parliamentary standards, but on analysis of it, he may well have broken the rules, and he's certainly paid the price for it so far. He's had to resign. He's resigned the Conservative whip, and it's not going to reflect well on Parliament once again. But I think we need just to check.
But is it him or was it the system? Let's not talk about him specifically, but let's talk about individual MPs. Are they to blame when something like this happens, or is it the system?
I think MPs have to take some of the blame. We're responsible for ourselves and our own actions, but obviously we have a system where it was actually a rather sort of shabby entrapment plan that caught Patrick out. He is a good constituency MP. I'm very disappointed, but it will be a plague on all our houses, and no doubt about it.
But he shouldn't have done it then?
Shouldn't have done it, no.
OK, well, John, some interesting attitudes there in Newark to MPs being paid more. Where do you stand on this?
Well, I don't think MPs should be paid more. We've got a public sector pay freeze. We've got real wages squeezed at the moment.
I think a lot of people were saying that, really, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. MPs get paid very well indeed, and I wouldn't be in favour.
But if we paid you more, would you stop looking for other work outside?
But I'm not sure if many MPs are looking for other work outside. I mean, Patrick Mercer's done the right thing by referring himself, but he did the wrong thing. But no organisations...
£60,000 not enough?
Well, it is enough for me, but no organisation's ever approached me asking me to sort of put questions down and all that. And I haven't, to be honest, heard that it's going on with other MPs. I mean, maybe it is, I just don't know.
Is the answer then to ban you all from doing it?
Well, I mean, I think we need to look at it carefully, because I know there are lots of MPs who do have outside earnings, whether they're barristers or working in business. I don't know where they would find the time to do it, but I know there is some who do it, and I think...
Well, you've got a private business, Andrew. Where do you stand on this?
Well, I have an income from a business I set up 25 years ago with my brother. It's got no links to any of my activities as an MP. I mean, if we're talking about outside interests, I think... the situation with select committee chairman, where they're actually then taking on interests after they become a select committee chairman in that sphere of interest. That's not right.
Does it help having that experience, though, like having the business experience that you've got behind you?
Absolutely, absolutely, and dealing with people. But I think that there's a complete difference to that, to taking on extra interest related to things you're doing in Parliament after you've become an MP or a select committee chairman. And at the moment, the rules are not clear on that, and I think they do need tightening up.
OK, well, John, you've been working on getting more ordinary people, as you might call them, into Parliament, but you've actually spent your whole life in politics. So are you actually saying that you'd like to see fewer people like yourself?
Actually, yes.
Really?
I'd like to see a lot fewer Labour MPs in Parliament.
Give over, Andrew. Well, you'll be worried at the next election then. But yeah, we need people from all kinds of walks of life coming into Parliament, and we need to think about how we get people from different backgrounds into Parliament.
So how?
Well, we've got to open... The political parties have got to look at their selection procedures and think about procedures which are enticing for people to come in. But we've also got to look at perhaps the hours. There's a big debate going on about whether the hours are family friendly. We've got to look at the ways in which we can encourage more women. Look, there's a debate going on in Parliament at the moment. We have a nursery in the House of Commons. There's some MPs saying that nursery should be closed and turned back into a bar. I mean, I think that would be the wrong signal to send.
We're not short of bars in the House of Commons.
Certainly not.
Briefly then, what would you do to attract ordinary people?
I think we do need to attract a cross-section of people. There needs to be MPs that, at least one MP in the chamber, that anyone in this country can relate and say, yeah, that's the sort of person I am. So we need a cross-section. But I think we will need to look at the salary package, pension, and that's being looked at now. But certainly as far as this Parliament is concerned, we know what we signed up for, that the pay is going to stay the same for this Parliament.